Welcome back, everybody. It's another juicy podcast. This is a little bit of a different vibe this time. This is more of an artistic vibe, guys. This podcast, it's just me and a special guest. But before I tell you about our special guest, I do want to tell you guys to, first of all, thank you. Thank you for all the growth. Thank you for all the support so far. But I also want to remind you guys to help us continue to grow. Follow us on all forms of social media. All right, CoñoCast Pod on Instagram and CoñoCast on Facebook and Twitter. Help us grow. Tell your friends. Share the page. Share your favorite piece of content. Tell your friends. Word of mouth is the biggest tool right now, guys. It's helping us grow, helping us get some more influence. Excuse me. Still dealing with a little bit of the leftovers of the bronchitis. But Joa, I know you guys have been noticing that Joa hasn't been with us in the last few episodes. Joa's been busy, but I'm pulling the weight right now. It's okay. It's all good, man. That's what friends do. This is what we do. But he will be back this Thursday. We're going to cover everything Masvidal Diaz, rivalry week, Miami versus Florida State, NFL football, playoffs, World Series. We're going to cover it all. It's going to come your way. It's going to be hot. It's going to be juicy, and I am burping right now, and it's not a cool look. I'm sorry I'm doing it right to the microphone. But, yeah, man, that's what's coming up. But before we get started with the podcast, I do want to tell you guys a little bit about the guest that was with me today. Today I had a good friend of mine, Jordon Yates. He's a local DFW comedian, and yes, there's going to be a couple of comedians kind of back to back on the series of interviews that I'm doing to fill in for some content. But it's great talk, man. It's a great conversation, and I think it's good to get to know some local talent. And we're gonna interview musicians and coaches and stuff like that. So there's gonna be more than just comedians. I promise. Just hold on with me. But Jordon Yates, man, he's a local DFW comedian. Very, very funny. He comes off, little eccentric, but lovable, beautiful soul, beautiful human being. But some of his credits, let me read these off to you, because he's only been doing comedy a little less than a year, so it's pretty impressive to be, so young into comedy, but yet so active. So he's been featured on the Jay and LNA show. He's opened up for Flo Hernandez. He's opening up for Wes Corwin, who is the winner of the funniest comedian in Texas, and that's going to be on the 9th coming up. He's also headlining the One Love Lounge here coming up soon, I think in the next couple of weekends. And he's also one of the main hosts out in Hyenas. He hosts most of the blocks. He's one crazy dude on the mic, man. He has bars. Very, very funny guy. But, before we get started with everything else, guys, thank you guys so much for always following us and showing support to the podcast. Thank you for the love. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Rate and review this podcast. Give it a 5 stars. Tell people that you love it. Tell your friends. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. We're on Stitcher. We're everywhere. We are literally everywhere. But it's only up to you guys to help us grow. So, without further ado, give it up for, I guess, Jordon Yates. Thank you, guys.
I think that dogs feel how much I enjoy them loving me.
Oh yeah,
he's really
why awesome.
That's why they love me.
He's really awesome. Welcome everybody to another episode of CoñoCast podcast. Jordon couldn't join us today, but I set out the bat signal, and I got a fellow comedian brother, adopted Puerto Rican,
What's up?
Jordon Yates. Jordon.
You know what? It's so funny. So when I was, I went to a bilingual school when I was in kindergarten because my mom was a teacher there.
Yeah.
And I was like literally the only kid in my class that spoke English.
Yeah.
And it always blew me away. Like even when I was a little kid, I was blown away by the fact that they would call me Jordon Yates.
Jordon Yates.
Jordon Yates. They would literally flip them around. They had all of the pieces of the puzzle, and they just fucking.
That's funny.
I know, dude. Yeah, I still use that as like my. It's on my Instagram. It's like my
Jordon Yates. Jordon Yates.
Jordon.
So what's good, man? Thanks for joining me today. Having a cup of coffee, talking.
Little sip.
How's the coffee, man?
Oh, it's good coffee, dude. Dark
bro,
roast.
It's that Cubano, bro.
That Cubano.
That Bustelo.
The Bustelo.
The yellow can.
Next time I'll take it even black, actually. You put a little creamer in there this time. And...
I know you like the black. I just put creamer just in case people don't like
it. No, that's fair. You know what? I'm never disappointed to have creamer in my coffee. I just tell myself that I want to have it black. I'm like...
So you completely fuck up your stomach.
I'm trying...
So you're trying to take all the shits.
I used to seriously drink like 7 cups of coffee a day. Like
that's about where I'm at right now. I take, the 24-ounce mugs.
Yeah.
About 3 of those a day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I used to just have like a...
Plus this, so that's 8. Yeah.
Especially, so my senior year of high school, my grandmother was my vice principal, and so I would...
That's fun.
Right? So I would...
So you can fuck all the bitches.
Oh, man, no. I could absolutely not do any of that. I had lost my virginity way before then, and my entire senior year, I was celibate, dude. I was back on it for Jesus.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, Jordon, again, thank you so much. Before we really dive deep into this convo and let you go to your show...
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. It is all good. Let's tell these Russian scammers to stop calling me. Bro, where can they find you on Instagram?
Oh, you can find me at Jordon Yates 7. Jordon is spelled Jordon. My mom is creative.
Or French.
Right?
Jordon.
Jordon. That's how my grandma used to say it. Jordon. Yeah.
All right, man. So let's start. Tell us about you, man. Tell us where you're from, what you're all about. Those are a good place to start, and then we'll take it from there.
Where am I from? Well, I'm from Dallas.
Of course you are.
Of course you are.
Of course you are. Every person we talk to in Dallas is from Dallas.
Yeah, we never leave. It's like children of the corn out here. We're just like...
You look like a child of the corn.
And, right, dude. Honestly, I never grew out of it. It's like... that's why we're so, like, tribal in Texas. Like,
yeah.
We're like, fuck Houston. Fuck San Antonio.
Cowboys, baby! Yeah!
Fucking, dude, it's like it's like Dallas or nothing. You couldn't for those who weren't watching, I was like doing a mad like Stone Cold Steve Austin flex on Dallas.
Dude, yeah, totally. That was great.
That was at least how I saw it in my head. I was like
more Hulk Hogan, but we'll work with you.
It's Dallas, brother.
Dallas, brother. Anyway. So you're born and raised in Dallas.
Yeah, man.
But it's interesting. You do not have a Dallas vibe whatsoever.
No?
At all. I wouldn't have guessed.
What is a Dallas vibe like? What do you think a Dallas vibe is like?
My wife.
My wife?
like, you've met her. She's like, Dallas vibe is like Diego, my wife.
Are you saying like Mexican people, dude?
Not necessarily Mexican, but like... it's just this thing about it, like they exude Dallas. Does that make sense? Like, it's not a bad thing. It's just when you think of Dallas, you think you either like that's Dallas, or even Cowboy, even Cowboy KC. He also exudes Dallas. The other side.
Yeah, dude, that's a whole special sector of Dallas that exists.
That's like Dallas, a TV show, though.
That's
But
oh my gosh.
But that exudes Dallas. You know, like you, for me, maybe more San Francisco.
San Francisco. You know what's so funny is that's my favorite city in America.
Which makes sense.
You're
dressing the part.
I got to go there when I was I was a teenager. My mom was like dating this guy that lived out there.
Yeah.
And like I got to like go do a bunch of stuff with Google, and as a result of it, because he introduced me to his guy he was best friends with the guy who was like a vice president at Google, and so I got to like do a bunch of stuff like beta tests like Google Glass and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. And so I had just like such a good time while I was out there. Plus, it was like literally they had this.
That's a cool city, though.
Right, the streets fucking sparkle there, dude.
Outside of the homeless problem and the fecal problem.
Dude, that's like I feel like that's highly overplayed.
Have you been there in the last 5 years?
You know, it's been exactly 5 years since I've been there, so
yeah, it's gotten pretty bad recently.
Oh yeah,
it's gotten pretty bad. But yeah, dude. As always, I got the other co-host, which is now Jordan's new best friend.
Dogs love me, dude. Like I don't know. It's like this dog is examining my ear right now.
He's about to like totally French kiss your ear. Anyway,
I'm slightly erect.
You are a little bit. It's also the pheromones in this room.
It's also the pheromones in this room. I just get this way around you, Daniel. I don't know what to say.
It's okay. It's you know what it is.
I'm worried that I'm like speaking to underneath like the mic. Like I feel like I'm gonna come out sounding dumb.
You're fine. You're fine. This mic picks up everything. It'll pick up him scratching his balls over there.
Oh, good.
So you're fine.
I thought he didn't. Your dog's a eunuch, dude.
He is. Whatever it is. Doesn't matter. So, you were born and raised in Dallas.
Yeah.
You were to Earth before we've had a fuck up with the mic and the computer. Mm-hmm. You said you were Christian or was raised Christian.
So, I would... It's kind of...
We don't have to get into religion. I'm just trying to get to know you, bro.
No, yeah. So, I'm in a interesting place now. The God... And when I pray to God, I still pray, you know what I mean? Like,
once you're Christian, to me, it's kind of hard to leave the cult.
I feel that, dude.
Like, it's like you don't... For me, at this point in my life, I'm a hardcore believer, personally.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big organized religion guy.
Yeah, I get that, dude. I got super turned off of it when I was in high school. I think pretty much, like... It's like I started smoking weed and having sex, but I still wanted to love Jesus, and those things weren't, like, compatible.
The funny thing is, if you really dive deep into the word, right, they are.
Right. I see, and that's how I thought about it, too, because I had, you know, I mean, I read the Bible, like, a lot growing up. I was pretty well-versed in it. I mean, I actually kind of, like, I was, like, you know, like a youth leader at my...
Hey, me too.
I
think that's why. Honestly, I think there's a lot of reasons that I think out of all the people on the DFW comedy scene that I gravitated to, so I think there's like a kinship there, that, you know, between you, where you're Christian,
we're brothers of Christ.
Oh, Christ followers, like they say. I'm not Christian. I'm a Christ follower. I follow the word of Christ, and I might also bang chicks on the side too. But
yeah,
you'll never know.
But you'll never know.
You know.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's kind of like Mother Teresa. What did she say? Although I recognize that Mother Teresa also committed some like human atrocities. She did have one really good quote about Christianity where she said, "I'm not here to follow Christ. I'm here to be Christ."
Ooh, great quote.
Which I think is like if anything, like I feel like if more people try to embody the saints of their religions, then they would have a better time. And I think that it's never a bad aspiration to chase after that.
No, and
to want to live a Christ-like life, to want to live a...
But that's the goal of every Christian. If you really dig deep into the Word, you know, right. We are the body of Christ. We are the church. And yeah, morally, and then like same thing with language. I have this thing with language. People say, "Oh, you shouldn't talk this way or that way," and I'm like, language is a human construct. Period. Like, God gave us the ability to speak to each other, but who defines vulgarity? Humans do. You know, like, yeah, there's cursing somebody in the name of God. That's something I would never do. But to throw around a couple of dick jokes and a fuck this and a fuck that, doesn't mean I'm cussing somebody. I might be cussing as in using slang, but
oh yeah,
I'm not being